a certain Dr. Richard Mata, Sas Rogando Sasot. Mary Jean Reyes po, the same. Okay, ano? Dami po. Doon po kay Mark Anthony de la Cruz Lopez. Mr. Eric Celes, Mr. Chairman, they have not, since supposedly this had been tackled this morning. Anyway, Mr. Chairman, we have received a copy of several letters, no, coming from resource persons that was issued the show cause order during the February 4 hearing, Mr. Chairman. Now, most of these excuse letters citing almost the same, no, except for a few, almost the same reason why they should not be present in today's hearing. Now, let me take, for example, letter coming from a certain Richard Mata. He stated about questions of his base in Davao, and he has also filed a petition for certiorari in the Supreme Court. And he mentioned about lack of willful disobedience, etc., etc. Now, it is, Mr. Chairman, the same is in the case of other invited resource person issued the show cause order. They have filed a petition for certiorari in the Supreme Court, and they are not once again present in today's hearing. Well, in fact, some of them mentioned about that they should not be cited in contempt. And just for the record, I would just like to correct all those resource persons that replied, no, with regards to the show cause order by this honorable committee. We never cited them in contempt. We followed due process in this committee. Well, in fact, a lot of hearings in my own committee and even in the Quadcom, we follow and we do due diligence with regards to motion to cite in contempt a certain particular resource person. Now, Mr. Chairman, I'll just mention all those names, no, na nagpadala dito na hindi po dumalo ngayong araw na ito answering our show cause order. A certain Dr. Richard Mata, but Comsec, please take note that Dr. Richard Mata mentioned about a letter that was sent to his address in the person of Manuel Mata. In his letter, he asked this committee or the Comsec to kindly refrain from sending correspondence addressed to him at my given address, considering that he is a total stranger to me. So, ito pong a certain Manuel Mata, if he is invited, hindi po naka-address dapat kay Dr. Richard Mata. But then, Dr. Richard Mata is absent, no, in today's hearing. Second po, the letter coming from Ethel Pineda. The same po. And let me read, may I respectfully inform the committee that a petition for certiorari and a restraining order have been filed before the Supreme Court. This legal action pertains to inquiry that I was unable to attend. Concerning this, I shall await guidance from the Supreme Court on the appropriate next steps. The same is true with Elizabeth Jo Cruz, Aaron Peña, Crisette Loretta Chu. But the Crisette Loretta Chu, I think he's not present today, but her counsel is present in the person of former congressman and former secretary of the Department of Labor and Employment, Secretary Congressman Silvestre Bello. Sir, I will just ask the chairman that he will be given time after all of these admin matters, but still, we have to act on it based on the letter that was submitted to us. After I read all the reply letter po, then I will ask the chairman for you to explain why why your client is present today.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be recognized, Your Honor?
After na lang po. After na lang po.
Okay,
Nung admin
okay.
matters.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And the same is true with Susan Batalya. And Attorney Trixie Angeles. Mamaya po, I will just manifest with regards to Attorney Trixie on her interview. Then the same is Sas Rogando Sasot. Mary Jean Reyes po. The same. Okay, ano? Dami po. Doon po kay Mark Anthony de la Cruz Lopez. Now, Mr. Chairman, with all those reply coming from those resource persons mentioned, issued with the show cause order, Mr. Chairman, may I respectfully move that we issue a subpoena ad testificandum for all those mentioned names that has officially received a copy of such show cause order. So move, Mr. Chairman.
There's a motion to issue subpoena to all those mentioned by the Honorable Paduano for not attending and answering the show cause order issued by the three committees. Duly seconded. Do I hear any objection from the members? Hearing none, the motion is carried.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Same is true with...
Your Honor, may I now be recognized, Your Honor?
Sandali po. Sir, hindi pa ako tapos.
Okay.
Same is true with Miss Badoy and Mr. Eric Celes, Mr. Chairman. They have not replied to the show cause order issued to them. So, I respectfully move once again, Mr. Chairman, to issue a subpoena ad testificandum to the mentioned name, Mr. Chairman. So move.
There's a motion to issue subpoena to Mr. Celis and Madam Badoy. Do I hear any objection to the motion? Hearing none, the motion is carried.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Now, Mr. Chairman, before Mr. Chair to recognize former Secretary Bello, let me read lang, Mr. Chairman, a manifestation with regards to all those invited resource person that was issued the show cause order, and now they were issued the subpoena. First and foremost, Mr. Chairman, let me read lang question of jurisprudence with regards to inquiry in the aid of legislation. Now, Mr. Chairman, Standard Chartered Bank versus the Senate. Ito po in relation to subjudice rule. Napakalinaw po, and let me read. The mere filing of a criminal or administrative complaint before a court of quasi-judicial body should not automatically bar the conduct of legislative investigation. Otherwise, it will be extremely easy to subvert any intended inquiry by Congress through the convenient ploy of instituting a criminal or administrative complaint. Surely the exercise of sovereign legislative authority, of which the power of legislative inquiry is an essential component, cannot be made subordinate to a criminal or administrative investigation. And in this case, Mr. Chairman, the letter answer to the show cause order issued to all those resource person that was ordered for a subpoena ad testificandum is not valid, Mr. Chairman, since Supreme Court mismo po nagsabi na it cannot be applied in inquiry in aid of legislation. And furthermore, Mr. Chairman, on Arnold Tesareno versus Neri of the Senate, let me quote, a legislative investigation in aid of legislation and court proceeding has different purposes. Magkaiba po. On one hand, courts conduct hearings or like adjudicative procedures to settle through the application of a law actual controversies arising between adverse litigants and involving demandable rights. On the other hand, inquiries in aid of legislation are an inter alia undertaken as tools to enable the legislative body to gather information and thus legislate wisely and effectively, and to determine whether there is a need to improve existing laws or enact new or remedial legislation, albeit inquiry need not result in any potential legislation. Ongoing judicial proceedings do not preclude congressional hearings in aid of legislation. Napakalinaw po na yung excuse letter o yung letter reply ng lahat ng mga resource person that was issued the subpoena in today's hearing is not acceptable and valid po. Now, and lastly, Mr. Chairman, let me read na lang po. Let me manifest with regards to the statement being made by Attorney Trixie Angeles in social media po. Allow me to proceed, Mr. Chairman.
You have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. While we acknowledge the right of Attorney Angeles to seek reprieve before the Supreme Court for an act which he believes would curtail her constitutionally granted right, clarification must be made to further justify the previous directive of this joint committee. Firstly, the joint committee issued the show cause order against Attorney Angeles not because of her non-attendance to our February 4, 2025 hearing. Hindi po dahil wala siya dito, kaya na-issuehan siya ng show cause order, but because of the content of the communication that she submitted before this committee, which directly challenges our jurisdiction to conduct inquiry in aid of legislation. We have a copy po of the letter sent to us by Attorney Trixie Angeles during the first hearing and invitation po. We would like to remind Attorney Angeles that as an officer of the court and a member of the legal profession, she is bound to respect and abide by the Constitution. And under Article 6, Section 21 of the Constitution, let me cite, the House of Representatives has the power to conduct inquiries in aid of legislation. Therefore, it is imperative upon Attorney Angeles to respect and acknowledge this authority as enshrined in our Constitution. Secondly, Mr. Chairman, the Joint Committee directed the Legal Department to study and consider filing possible disbarment case against Attorney Angeles because we believe that an officer of the court, she must conduct herself as a true advocate of law rather than being the one directly promoting its defiance. It must likewise be stressed that Attorney Angeles has a propensity of violating the legal profession's code of professional responsibility. Per records, Attorney Angeles has already been suspended by the Supreme Court in 2 occasions. First, in 2016, when she was suspended for 3 years because of her failure to act on a case of her client despite payment of legal fees, and again in 2023 when the court imposed a 6-month suspension against her for using abusive and inappropriate language in a submitted pleading. Considering the aforementioned, it is only but proper for this jurisdiction to examine whether a disbarment case should be filed against Attorney Angeles for constantly disregarding and violating the code of conduct being observed by all members of the bar. That's all, Mr. Chairman. For in the case of Attorney Trixie Cruz Angeles,